Goldieblox. I started Goldieblox a couple years ago because I wanted to get more girls and women into engineering. And after doing some research, I found that girls lose interest in science and engineering as young as age 8. So I decided I would try to hook them through toys. Growing up as a little girl, I actually never knew what engineering was. I was a pretty girly girl. I was a ballerina. I loved playing dress up, but I also loved making things, and I was pretty creative. And when I was a senior in high school and I was applying to college, my math teacher told me she thought I should be an engineer and that I should study engineering. And I was really embarrassed because I didn't know what it was, but I pictured kind of an old man driving a train, and it was very unappealing, and I kind of just brushed it off. But when I got to Stanford, I couldn't forget that voice in my head. She had said, try engineering, you would be good at engineering. It's not every day that someone you really admire tells you what they think you'd be good at. So I took Mechanical Engineering 101, and I remember that class just blew me away because engineering wasn't what I thought it was. In that class, I was building things and making things, we were inventing, we were sketching ideas and working in groups and learning all the skills to solve problems, and we were creating, and I loved it. So I declared it as my major. But the problem was that there were very, very few women in the program. And actually there are very few women in engineering in general. Only 11% of engineers in the US are women. And it's a huge problem because engineers are literally building our world. And they're also the fastest growing jobs. And we have a huge shortage, and we can fill that with girls and women. We can get them interested. So what I decided to do was put my engineering degree to use. I learned mechanical engineering and product design, and I wanted to create a product that would get girls interested in engineering. And I found that construction toys historically have actually created a lot of interest in building and engineering, but they've been heavily focused on boys for a really long time. Girls grow up with the pink aisle and dress up in dolls. I grew up with that. Never had any idea what engineering was, and never really built an interest in it either. I felt like I got really lucky. So I decided that I would create a construction toy that would help develop spatial skills and build an interest in math and science, and do it in a way that would really appeal to girls. And who better than me to do it, because I was once a little girl. So it's just proof that the feminine perspective really does matter and will make better products. When I first started, people told me time and time again that the toy industry is very difficult to break into. But I was obsessed with getting girls interested in engineering, and I was going to stop at nothing. So the first thing I did was go to the New York Toy Fair, and I brought my prototype and I walked around and showed it to toy industry veterans and toy store owners to get their feedback. And to be honest, they were a bit underwhelmed. And while they appreciated the idea and thought it was a noble cause, they didn't think it had market viability. They told me that construction toys for girls don't sell, that other companies have tried it in the past, and it was just this well-known secret that girls don't play that way and they don't like that. So I knew I had an uphill battle to climb, but I also really believed in it. I felt it was important, and I had spent a lot of time prototype testing my product with girls, and I knew they liked it. So I decided, instead of going the traditional route of trying to enter the toy industry by doing a minimum run and trying to get it in some local toy stores who I just didn't think got it, I utilized crowdfunding. I put my prototype up on Kickstarter as a way to show it to the world and get their reaction, and hopefully prove that there was indeed market demand for this toy, and that more people besides my parents thought it was a good idea. So I put up a video, and I had a goal of raising $150,000, which was what I needed to go into production. And to my surprise and delight, we actually reached the goal in only 4 days and went on to raise over $250,000 on Kickstarter to get started. The 3 keys to my success. Number one, I think I've I've been successful because I've been very self-aware about what my strengths and weaknesses are, and I don't pretend to know everything, and I'm usually the first person to raise my hand when I don't know something. I'll always go find somebody who can help me figure it out, and I've been building a team of people who are better than me at a lot of the things that we need, and I really let them run with it, and I really try to let them shine. So that would be number one. Number two, when I was first starting out, I was pretty isolated, to be honest. I was worried that people were going to steal my ideas, and I had to be really private about it, and it was lonely. And I had sort of this turning point where I realized that there's a difference between an inventor and an entrepreneur. And if you want to be an inventor and hole up all alone and work on your ideas, then that's great. But if you want to be an entrepreneur, you really need to build a community of people. It takes a village to build a company. And so really just going out there and sharing my ideas and collaborating with as many people as possible has enabled me to grow this business so quickly, and it's also given so many people a sense of pride and ownership over Goldieblox because they feel like they've contributed, and I've listened and I've incorporated a lot of their ideas. So the piece of advice number three, just go for it. I think a lot of times when you're working on something, it can be incredibly overwhelming because there's a million different ways to do something, and you second guess and you're not sure, and you could do it this way or that way, and I think you just have to put something together and put it out and get feedback, and then you can go from there. My approach that's been successful is not, I need to connect specifically with other women versus men. I think it's more you just have to put yourself out there and meet as many people as you can and have conversations, and 9 times out of 10 people will be maybe happy for you, but not as passionate or not wanting to get involved. But every now and then one person is going to really become excited about it and want to support you and mentor you and help, and that may be a man or a woman. So my advice is just to really put yourself out there and have as many conversations as you can with people who you think could be helpful, and be very specific when you meet with them about what you want. Don't be afraid to just lay it out there and ask for it. You'll be surprised. A lot of people will do it. You can find out more about Goldieblox by visiting our website, goldieblox.com, GOLDIEBLOX.com. We are also on Facebook, Twitter, and Pinterest. Just look up Goldieblox.